the Detroit Lions. We added a player to the squad, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do best team available, and let's see who it is. Obviously, it's not offense. It's going to be defense, and it's going to be Night Train Lane. I believe he played for the Lions, the Cardinals, and the Rams. But today we're adding him to the Detroit Lions. And here's a fun fact about Madden. Kind of annoying. Night Train Lane played at Western Nebraska. Not Nebraska, Western Nebraska. Western Nebraska is not currently in Madden for some reason. So, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We got Night Train Lane added to the 2024 Detroit Lions. And we're about to see how well he can help the Detroit Lions squad out to potentially go win a Super Bowl. So let's see, week 1, they play the LA Rams. And they win that game. Now, I did a video about a week and a half ago of adding Calvin Johnson to this squad. And it didn't go as well as I thought it was going to go. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was going to go a lot better than it did. The Lions didn't do good in that video. Which sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Currently, they are 2-2 going into their bye week. But it's kind of a toss-up with the Lions. They do not sim well in Madden. Jared Goff throwing as many interceptions as he does not help out for that fact. And by the way, Night Train Lane does not have an interception yet, interestingly enough. Kind of expected him to have an interception at this point, but not the case. Which sometimes, could be a good thing, means they're not throwing his side. They're not even taking a chance at throwing at his side, but even with the Legion of Boom a couple days ago, even that squad wasn't crazy interception-wise, which I thought was crazy. But 2-4 currently for the Detroit Lions. They finally win again. Now they play the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. They win that game somehow. They play the 5-4 Texans. Okay. Yeah, kind of figured that would be a loss. They play the Jacksonville Jaguars. They win that game, thankfully. They play the 8-3 Indianapolis Colts. They beat the 8-3 Colts. Okay, they play the 4-7 Bears in Detroit. And they win that game. So right now, I'll be honest with you, this team right now is ups and downs, peaks and valleys. I mean, there are a lot of these games they could have lost. They could have lost these last 3, and I wouldn't have been surprised. They beat the Packers. They could have lost, or they did lose to the Texans, but I kind of wish they beat the Texans because that's one of their toughest matchups. But it is what it is. Now they play the Green Bay Packers in Detroit. And they season sweep the Packers. They played the 9-4 Bills. Yikes, that's a tough matchup. They played the 6-8 Bears in Chicago. Yeah, back-to-back losses there is not going to help you out much. Right now, they are not in the playoff picture because they need to win these last 2 games to make it. The 10-5 49ers, they lose that game. And then they play the 12-4 Vikings. And they win with a 9-8 record. But because they lost to Chicago, they get knocked out of the playoffs. So Chicago was 6-8. And found a way to not only kick it at the end, but make the playoffs too. And knock out the Detroit Lions. I have no idea why, but in Madden, the Lions just do not sim very well. But Night Train Lane, 6 interceptions on the season. So fantastic year for Night Train Lane. 10.5 sacks for Hutch. Night Train did not have any sacks, but he did have 68 tackles, 12 assists, and 56 solo tackles. So cool. Did not, though, again, lead the NFL in interceptions, sadly. So kind of one of those seasons where it's like you add a legend to the roster, but nothing really comes out of it. So it's kind of like a forgotten situation. In the end, who had the most interceptions on the season? It was actually Jermaine Pratt, linebacker for the Bengals, because number 2 was tied for 6 between 4 different players, including Night Train Lane. So kind of cool, but again, like I said, kind of a wash because they didn't make the playoffs. Which, again, simulation-wise, even with Calvin Johnson, for some reason, Madden doesn't think that the Lions are a playoff team with Calvin, but it is what it is. It's what your playoffs do look like, though. And actually, let's take a look at this real fast. Go over to this. Let's take a look at 14-3, 12-5, 13-4. Okay, so pretty much similar to what we always see. The worst team, is it going to be an NFC team? Yes, it is. 9-8 Seahawks, who make the playoffs in the West. So, again, very disappointed that, you know, the Lions didn't make the playoffs in this. I feel like they definitely could have. So, you know, just a missed opportunity, I would say. I'm going to guess that Jermaine Pratt is Defensive Player of the Year, but then he's also a Cincinnati Bengal, so he probably won't be. Jermaine Pratt should get Defensive Player of the Year. He doesn't. Okay, Jermaine Pratt had 8 interceptions from the linebacker position, which is actually crazy. So, what did TJ Watt do, and why did he win Defensive Player of the Year over Jermaine Pratt? Okay. He better have had the best season of all time, bro. 21.5 sacks. I mean, what's crazier? 21.5 sacks or 8 interceptions for the linebacker position? I'm kind of biased, so I think it's probably this. But still, like, what did Myles Garrett do? Because Myles Garrett probably did the same thing, right? He had 9 sacks. Okay, never mind. Was that the most sacks on the... I mean, it had to have been, right? I mean, you don't win Defensive Player of the Year and you don't have the most sacks on the year. Someone else, they have more than him. Actually, Mad Max Crosby tied. Nah, give it to Jermaine Pratt. Jermaine Pratt had 8 interceptions. That's bullcrap. That's absolutely bullcrap. Because they tied. That's not real. That's fake news right there. That's fake news. It should have went to Jermaine Pratt. Bullcrap. Thank you guys for watching, though. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.